Hello, good morning, I'm SimUK. First of all, please let me apologise for my voice, and I'm just getting over a man flu, so I just sound a bit weird in this review, but it's a review that needs to go out quickly so that you guys can see Boss Resort Golf. Now, if you're a bit of a golf fan like I am, I used to play a lot of golf, I enjoy golf. It's a really, really good game, and Boss Resort Golf was certainly something that piqued my interest. I asked Excalibur if I could review their game for them, and they sent me a key in a preview state. This is early access, so do bear that in mind when I give you my review. But my first look at it was about a week ago, and it was absolutely plagued with bugs. I had to constantly save and restart the game just in order to progress, in order to play. All the characters were just getting stuck, they couldn't move around, nothing was working. The noise in game was completely unbearable. People playing golf, it was awful. You can turn it down in the menu system, but yeah, it was, the music was too repetitive, and turning that down just kind of exacerbated the sound of people playing golf. It was awful, god awful. I felt that the UI was pretty poorly designed overall, and it was missing many basic but very important key functionality aspects. So today I'm making the review. I looked at the game again. It has changed, it's had a few updates and so on and so forth, and it's the last day before the embargo, so I can now make this review and put it up for you. And if you know SimUK at all, then you'll know that I make fair reviews. I look at the game until I feel like I've got a good feel for the game, and then I give you my honest feedback. And you know, sometimes you agree with me, sometimes you don't, but at least I'm being 100% honest. And basically, guys, don't buy this game right now, at least. Potentially in the future it could develop into something worth looking at, but as it is right now, I can only give you my review based on my experience. So I've told you what my initial experience about a week and a half ago was. My experience today, the day before the embargo is lifted, the day before you guys can invest your hard-earned money into this game. And, well, this is it. I mean, it's the shortest review I'm ever going to make in my life because I simply couldn't play the game. It's worse now than it was a week and a half ago. The music's okay, but it's repetitive. It's an endless list song. There's only one track and it just goes over and over and over and over and over. So you go into the options menu and you turn the music off, obviously, which then, as mentioned before, exacerbates the fact that the sound of the players of those people playing golf is just boosted, and then that becomes incredibly irritating. So you turn that down. So effectively, you're going to end up playing in complete silence. I can't show you that. I can't show you how irritating the golf players are because the footage I recorded a week and a half ago I deleted because it was so bad, and the game is even more broken now than it was then, so I can't even get to the point where people are playing golf. That's how bad this game is at the moment. Whoever is project leading this game needs to pack their bags and hand the task over to somebody else. This is bad. This is the worst game I think I've ever played. Honestly. The building menus are absolute. Well, actually, let's start at the beginning, shall we? The options are incredibly basic, as I mentioned in the menu system. It's like 3 key areas for audio and 1 main audio control, and that's basically it, and a bit of speed control for your mouse. That's all that's there, okay? When you start the game up, there is an option to go into windowed mode, but it's not in 1920. Now, that's not going to affect everybody. Not everyone's going to be bothered by that, but it irritated me, so I'm mentioning it. The building menus are terrible. You can change the walls, you can change the colour of the roof and the walls, but often this just fails to work. So, you know, if you select green walls, you'll find that they're not green at all. Or if you select the colour of the roof, sometimes it works. I mean, last week it worked, but this week it doesn't work. So, okay, fine. Also, the building menu always scrolls to the very bottom, and you have to have a door in a building in order for it to be finished, and that's the one at the top, so you always have to scroll up. Irritating, stupid bugs that should have been... I mean, why send this out for people to review with stuff? Oh my god, honestly. I'm showing you some footage in the background, but just... in my voice, you can hear how irritated I am, I'm sure. I have got man flu. I'm just getting over man flu at the moment. So perhaps I'm more irritated than usual, but this game's really wound me up. The camera is terrible. You can see here, you have to build a clubhouse. So I build a clubhouse, but I like to build it in this L shape, which gives me this sort of roof overlay thing. I think it looks quite cool. But then I can't move the camera so that I can put the windows in. So I have to kind of put the windows in blind. It's ridiculous. Then you have to hire these builders, which, as you can see, just stand around and do absolutely nothing. And then 5 days later, the building's built. I know, it's early access, but what is it you want me to review? They don't do anything. And then, right, okay, I opened the whole builder menu system, and a week and a half ago this worked. I built 9 holes, I think, in total. And it kind of worked. I mean, there's loads of features that aren't there that should be there. Nothing really connected up properly. It didn't look particularly good. I planted loads of trees. They never seemed to grow. You can only have 18 holes, right? Honestly, whoever's planning this needs to leave immediately, right? You can only have a maximum of 18 holes, which is how many holes you have in a golf course, right? But in the game, you're expected to start out with just 1 or maybe 2 or 3, okay? So your funds are very small. So, I mean, the logical thing from my perspective is to have a little pitch and putt, something like that, you know, or a 9-hole golf course. But then you want to expand on that. You want to keep that little one and expand and have a big one as well. So you've got pitch and putt, you've got the 9-hole, and then you've got the big 18-hole for the pro players and stuff. That makes sense to me, but no, you can only have 18. And if you build, let's say you build hole 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order, then that's the order in which you'll have to play them. So because the game's so buggy, let's say hole 3 didn't fully complete for whatever reason. It didn't really tell you why, but for some reason it didn't complete as a hole. Now you'll find that hole 4 is hole 3, and the only thing you can do is finish off hole 3, which then makes it hole 4. There's no way of rearranging them so that they're in the right order. So then you've got players from hole 2 walking over hole 4 to get to hole 3, and then back to hole... Do you see where I'm going with this? This game's an absolute mess. It really is bad. That was last week, by the way. What happens now, this week, is that nothing happens. You can't build a hole because none of it works. You can't close the window of the hole maker. It's stuck. It's so badly stuck on the screen that I saved the game. This worked last week. I'd save it, go back to the main menu, reload the game, and then it would continue and everything would sort itself out. Now what happens is, I save it, go back to the main menu, load the game up, and the flipping hole maker menu is still there. It is stuck. So stuck is it that I thought, well, you know, last time I started from the tutorial, so I'll just go back and do the tutorial and see if I can get some footage that way. The menu stays there whilst I'm doing the tutorial. It will not go. It is stuck fast permanently. This is nothing short of a buggy mess. Don't even bother entertaining the idea of putting money behind this early access project. This is nowhere near worth investing in. It is awful. Do you know what else? The pricing is wrong. So even though I couldn't put the hole down, a single square of fairway was £90 or $90, and I tried to drag out a bit of fairway to see if I could get it to work in some way or fashion, something, anything to make the game work properly. And I think it totaled like well over $1,000 for 4 pieces of flipping fairway at $90 a square. What the hell's that all about? This game is an absolute mess. Right, there is one positive, okay? A week and a half ago, I tested out the terrain editor. I tried to make a pond. What happened was I dug a hole in the ground, and then I put some water in it, and it looked kind of cool, I guess. I mean, nothing really looks particularly good in this game at the moment. Maybe that will change in time, who knows. But anyway, it gave the general sort of feel of a pond, and people could play over it. And I was trying to create some interesting and exciting, challenging holes and whatnot. So I did that, but then obviously every time I had to reload the game, the pond would disappear. So I thought, do you know what? I'll forget the pond. The water disappeared out of it. The hole was still there, right? So I thought, do you know what? I'll forget the pond. I'll just level it out using the terrain editor's level out tool, and we'll be good. So I tried to do that, and all that happened was it put a massive, great big spike where the pond used to be, and there was nothing at all I could do to get rid of it. So I mean, that's when I stopped playing a week and a half ago, because that irritated me so much. This was after the holes were all out of sync. There was no way to reorder them. Everybody kept getting stuck. I had to keep reloading the game. I just gave up with it. I'd had enough of it. They fixed that, so the terrain editor now works perfectly, but nothing else does. So there you go, guys. That's it. I'm not writing anymore because I've had enough of this game. That's my review. My review at this day is don't touch this with a 10-foot barge pole. It's horrifically bad. And you know, if you're interested, if you genuinely are interested in playing it, and I'll come back to this and look at it in, I don't know, 6 months when they've actually pulled the thumb out of their backside and done something to make the game work properly. This is basic stuff that I've got to stop talking. I'm going to lose the will to stay within the confines of a review. So guys, keep an eye on this if you're really interested in it, but don't invest any money in it yet. That's all I'm saying. Take care. Goodbye for now.